Park Siri knows without a doubt that her curly hair is the reason behind all of her romantic troubles. If only she had the same sleek, shiny hair as her fraternal twin sister Hye-ri, she'd have a loving boyfriend, specifically high school heartthrob Kim Hyun, and everything in her life would fall in place. Siri falls in love at the first sight to one of the most famous in her school, when she goes diving into a hidden and very beautiful beach. She is captivated by Kim Hyun, a handsome school star with many fans. Fate brings them together while swimming at a secluded beach. Hyun gets to know Siri well, which raises her hopes. Supported by her friends, she struggles to confess again. The next day, Siri tries to meet Hyun again at the same location. Siri also blames her father for having the same hair like him. However, her hair is very different with her twin sister, Hye-ri. If only she has straight hair, she will be so confident and gets everything she wants easily. Siri also sees Hyun in the morning when she wants to enter the school. Siri even cannot hide that she really likes Hyun very much. Suddenly, Hyun waves his hand at Siri, and Siri feels so excited. Finally, her crush notices her. Siri's best friends feel happy for Siri too. Siri also sees name list of 100 most clever students in the class. She finds Hyun's name there. They get privilege from school. So Siri thinks that she is not wrong to have a crush on Hyun. Siri with her best friends go to canteen and talk to the canteen keeper that she wants to order drinks for Hyun and write Hyun's name there. But the canteen keeper said that there are a lot of students who want to give Hyun drinks, and of course, he will get bloated later. Siri also finds out her rival who has the same hair like her also likes Hyun. After school, she went to the beach to see Hyun. She wanted to get Hyun's attention, and she put her name tag on her uniform. Even she imagines that she will meet Kim Hyun. It turns out that the young man, namely Yoon-seok, come to the beach and see Siri name tag. He takes it, but because he is not careful, he slips from the top to the sea. He almost drowning because he cannot swim. Finally, Siri comes to save Yoon-seok and takes him to the beach. That is their first meeting. The next day, a student comes to her class as a new transfer student and introduces his name, Han Yoon-seok. They become classmates. He comes from Seoul and has rumors surrounding him because on his first day of school, his leg had to be cast and supported by crutches. Yoon-seok and Siri friendship feel even closer, perhaps due to the minimal use of gadgets. So they truly enjoy their time together. From lunch in the cafeteria, ice cream on the field, playing dodgeball during gym class, to making thousands of origami crane egg. When Yoon-seok sit alone in canteen lunch break time, Siri and friends come at his table and having lunch together. Siri's friends call Yoon-seok Oppa, but Yoon-seok say it's okay to feel chill, however they are classmates even though he is 1 year older. And Siri feels so agree with that, and call Yoon-seok by his name. After lunch, they go watch Kim Hyun, and the bestie said that Siri's name tag may be taken by Hyun, and he saved the name tag which mean love. However, the one who saved Siri's name tag is Yoon-seok, and Siri feels so happy for that. And a ball hits Siri's head. Fortunately, Hyun come to save Siri. And asking Siri if she was fine, Siri said that she was fine. Her friends also feels happy for her, and they also say that probably Hyun also likes Siri. Siri then gets a news that Dolman, her friend or her rival who also likes Hyun, has straightened her hair. And Siri run always to Dolman's class and find out she turns so beautiful and more stunning. Siri feels so curious and asks Dolman where she straightened her hair. Dolman tells that she goes to a salon named Soul Straight Magic. After school, she finds out the salon and asks the owner, namely Jang Mi, about the price. The owner said that it costs $200, but Siri doesn't have the money as much as that. Then he figured out that Yoon-seok actually the owner's son. Siri feels so happy, and she tried to treat Yoon-seok well. The next day, she thinks of an idea how to get closer to Yoon-seok. And after school, she runs faster to Yoon-seok's house and pretend that she meets Yoon-seok accidentally. And Siri run to the salon to meet Jang Mi, Yoon-seok's mom, and introduces herself to Jang Mi. She also tells Jang Mi that she is the one who saved Yoon-seok from the sea. Jang Mi agrees to give Siri's hair the soul magical straightening treatment for free if Siri helps Yoon-seok, who has injured his foot, get around. As Seri spends time with Yoon-seok, the two grow closer. Will she stay committed to confessing her love to Kim Hyun, or does Yoon-seok have her heart? Seri also feels so excited to share Jangmi brochure, Soul Magical Straightening Treatment, to the people pass by. She finally feels so shy and judes behind Yoon-seok because she sees his crush, Hyun, passed by with his friends. Seri finally realized that it almost rains, and she persuaded Yoon-seok to his father's warehouse. There are a lot of books inside. They're wet because of the rain. And Seri gives Yoon-seok clothes so he will not catch a cold. Yoon-seok also asks if it is her clothes or no, and Seri tells that it is his father's clothes, so Yoon-seok can use it. She also tells that the ones who know this warehouse is only him. Seri whispers the secret code for her father's warehouse door lock, which is a conventional padlock with a code. 4, 8, 6. Yoon-seok unconsciously repeats it. 4, 8, 6, 2. It turns out this is not just a mishearing. In Korea, it means A, saranghae, or I love you, which comes from the number of strokes needed to write the word in Hangul. Seri and her friends do a project of confession about Seri's feeling to Yoon-seok, namely to make a paper's crane, inside written Seri's name. Yoon-seok also helps Seri for that. All Seri's friends support her confession too, except her class leader. The class leader even tells Seri that she is not Seri's type. It makes Seri feel so sad. Seri and Yoon-seok go to her father's warehouse. Seri tells Yoon-seok that she must get high score from this exam because it is so important for her. Yoon-seok tells Seri that she must study before the exam. If study right now, it will be useless because the examination has passed. Yoon-seok then gives Seri the paper's crane that he made, and Seri feels so grateful for that and say thanks to Yoon-seok. Seri also gives Yoon-seok a book for his writing assignment. The next day, her friends tell Seri that Yoon-seok get the highest score in the school, and Seri says congratulations and feel happy for that, but Hyun's name is not in the list of 100 top students anymore. When PE lesson, Seri gets a chance to meet Hyun, but he feels so jealous when Dolman chooses Hyun to be her partner. So Hyun will protect Dolman from the ball. Yoon-seok chooses Seri to be his partner. Yoon-seok tries so hard to protect Seri so that she doesn't get attacked. When the game almost ends, left only two couples, namely he and Seri, and Hyun and Dolman. Yoon-seok attacks Dolman, and Hyun runs so fast to protect Dolman. He tries to catch the ball, but Seri tries to protect Hyun. It turns out she gets hit by the ball, she falls down, and her eyes were swollen. Yoon-seok goes away because he's disappointed of what Seri does. And Seri apologizes to Yoon-seok for what she did, but Yoon-seok isn't angry and tells Seri to take care of his eyes so that it will not get swollen bigger. The next day, they do a photo shoot. Seri and Yoon-seok take the photo together. Because Yoon-seok feels so well right now, Seri goes to Jangmi's salon to straighten her hair. When school field trip, all of her friends feels fascinated with Seri's new look. Seri plans to confess about his feeling to Hyun. But Yoon-seok doesn't feel happy with that. She likes Seri the way she is. School trips are a big part of the high school experience. There's always a campfire and a sing-along of sorts. While the rest of the class is singing around the campfire, Seri's friend group helps her set up a romantically lit forest rendezvous spot where she can confess her love to Kim Hyun. A heartsick Yoon-seok begrudgingly assists with the love confession setup, but can't bear to hide in the woods with the others to watch the confession take place. But when the moment comes, Seri can't do it. She admits to herself and to Hyun that she has feelings for someone else. Seri tells her feelings to Hyo. Seri tells that she likes Hyun from the beginning, and she also tried to straighten her hair because she knows that Hyun likes the girl who has straight hair. But she feels so happy because she realizes that she likes someone else. With him, she can be herself. Hyun says that he feels happy when she can confess about her feeling, but whoever Seri likes is a lucky man because can make her become herself. Se-ri stays mostly quiet about her newly recognized feelings for Yoon-seok. She is studying hard for her CSATs, the college entrance exams that can determine the future of every student in Korea, and she wants to focus on that. But she does tell Yoon-seok, while they sit in her father's manhwa hideout, that she isn't dating Kim Hyun. It gives him hope and an opening. Taking a page from Se-ri's big love confession playbook, he plans a sweet gesture for the CSAT day. After realize her feelings, Se-ri sees Yoon-seok and Dolmen are together. In the night, Yoon-seok comes to Se-ri's house and gives Se-ri a big candy to confess to Se-ri. Se-ri asks what is his relationships with Dolmen. Yoon-seok feels so happy because he thinks that Se-ri feels so jealous. Yoon-seok tells that they come from the same origin, namely from Seoul. Dolmen was his classmate. The following day, Yoon-seok and Se-ri go for a walk on the beach where they first met. Yoon-seok confesses that the day Se-ri pulled him from the water, he was depressed and contemplating what it would be like to drown. Se-ri's vivacity struck him and has been warming his heart ever since. He confesses that he likes Se-ri and that he has had her school uniform nameplate all this time. Though Se-ri doesn't explicitly confess back, the two hold hands as they walk back to Se-ri's house. They kiss goodnight and make plans for their first date. Se-ri plans an elaborate, beach-set confession of her feelings to Yoon-seok for their first proper date together. Her friends help set up sparklers and balloons and plan a choreographed performance for the announcement. Se-ri plans an elaborate, beach-set confession of her feelings to Yoon-seok for their first proper date together. Her friends help set up sparklers and balloons and plan a choreographed performance for the announcement. However, before Se-ri and Yoon-seok can reach the spectacle, Yoon-seok gets a call that his mother has been hospitalized in Seoul. He travels to Seoul to check on her, only to find his father lording over the hospital room. It is implied that Yoon-seok's father caused his wife's injuries. He wants them both back under his control. When Se-ri hasn't heard from Yoon-seok, she travels to Seoul to find him. She reaches the hospital room where Jang-mi is recovering and overhears Yoon-seok crying to his mother. Jang-mi's aunt wants them to come live with her in America as a way to get away from Yoon-seok's dad. But Yoon-seok tells his mom that he wants to go back to the life they have built in Busan. In an effort to make the choice easier for Yoon-seok, Se-ri tries to remove herself from the equation. She knows it will be safer for Yoon-seok and Jang-mi in the US, so she flees the hospital and buys a train ticket back to Busan without talking to them. When Se-ri calls to leave a last voicemail for Yoon-seok, it takes her a few tries to get it right. On the first call, she tells him how much she misses him, instead of breaking up with him. She hangs up without confirming the message, believing that the message was not saved. Then, she calls again, and leaves a message telling Yoon-seok that she thinks they were better off as friends. Unbeknownst to Se-ri, the first message did go through, and Yoon-seok hears Se-ri's true confession. After Yoon-seok leaves Busan, Se-ri finds his love confession amongst her father's manhwa. Yoon-seok has created a scrapbook filled with things that Se-ri likes. It includes photos of their time together, taken on the disposable camera Se-ri's dad gave him. Yoon-seok titles the book Chronicles of Love, and confesses how much Se-ri means to him in it. Se-ri, you pulled me out of the water and my dreams. For that, I'm truly grateful. Your name, which I held tightly in my hand, is now engraved in my heart and can't be erased. I am so glad I met you on that windy day. I love you, Park Se-ri. She cries as she reads it. When we see Se-ri again, she is taking classes in the marine sports department at a local college. It seems to be about a year later. Sun says it's the close future. Se-ri is doing well. She swims in the college pool and meets her high school friends at a cafe after classes. Still, she misses Yoon-seok. When her friends pressure her to show up for a blind date the following day, she reluctantly agrees. She doesn't want to meet someone new in view of the very same beach where she had planned her epic love confession for Yoon-seok. She heads to the beach instead, where she gets a call. It's her blind date, who also happens to be Yoon-seok. He is back and wants to be with Se-ri. He tells her that he got her first voicemail, and he has known all this time that she loves him. I didn't want to delete your voice, So I've been paying my pager bill all this time, he tells Se-ri, implying he has been in the US, where his pager might not work. They have both been holding on to one another, even when not together. Yoon-seok gifts Se-ri a giant jar of origami crane eggs, just like the ones he helped fold for Se-ri's aborted confession to Kim Hyun. I made one every time I thought of you, Yoon-seok tells Se-ri, then asking if she will be his girlfriend. Through messy tears, she agrees. Finally, she sobs in Yoon-seok's arms. Her friends, who have been watching nearby, come to celebrate with them.